We've all been there, right? You ask a simple question at work, and the response you get just lands with a thud. Well, today, we're going to talk about why handling those little inquiries is actually a professional superpower. Seriously, mastering this one skill can completely transform your work relationships. Let's get into it.
So, I want to start with a question for you. What do you think is the single most critical moment in any professional relationship? I mean, is it that first handshake, that big, stressful project deadline, or maybe it's when you sign the contract? The answer, I bet, is probably not what you're thinking. Because often, it's something way smaller, almost invisible. That critical moment can literally be the way you answer one simple question. In that tiny interaction, you are either building a rock-solid foundation of trust or you're planting a little seed of doubt. The stakes are just way higher than we think. So let's really dig into that. Why do these seemingly minor questions carry so much weight? Well, it's because it's about so much more than just swapping information. See, a really great response works like magic, and it does a few things at once. First, it just gets everyone on the same page, right? It cuts through any potential confusion. And that clarity, that's what builds trust. And when there's trust, you can give answers that are actually useful and relevant, which, at the end of the day, makes the entire relationship stronger. It turns a basic transaction into a real partnership.
Okay, so how do we actually do this? Well, it all starts before you even say a single word. See, to give a great answer, you first have to be a fantastic listener. So let's talk about the foundation of it all: active listening. Now, let's be super clear here. Active listening is not just being quiet while somebody else is talking. Think of it more like a sport. It's about being totally dialed in, actually processing what they're saying, and then, and this is the most important part, showing them that you got the message. All right, let's make this super practical with 4 easy steps. Step 1, pay attention, and I mean really pay attention. Put the phone down, tune everything else out. Step 2, show them you're engaged. Little things like a nod or an or I see. It shows you're right there with them. Third, and this one is an absolute game changer, reflect and clarify. Just saying, okay, so what I'm hearing is, can prevent massive misunderstandings down the road. And finally, number 4, ask questions. If something isn't crystal clear, don't just guess. Dig a little deeper with open-ended questions. Okay, so now you've listened, you've really understood the question. Now you're ready to build the perfect response. This is where all that great listening turns into action. Any truly strong response boils down to 4 key principles. First, be clear and concise. No rambling, just get to the point. Second, always keep it professional, obvious but important. Third, be honest. And this one is so crucial, we're going to spend a little more time on it in a second. And finally, if you say you're going to do something, you absolutely have to follow up. Let's look at this. This is the power of honesty mixed with action. The weak response, I don't know, is just a brick wall. It's a total dead end. But look at the strong response. I'll find that out for you right away. You're still being perfectly honest, but now you're also being proactive and helpful. This is how you build incredible trust. It's not about knowing everything, it's about being the person who takes ownership to find the answer. Theory is great and all, but let's see how this stuff actually plays out in the real world. Here are a couple of examples of how these principles come to life with clients, suppliers, and customers. Imagine a client asks about a delivery time. A vague answer is just going to make them anxious. But this response, it's direct, it promises specific details, and it immediately tells them, hey, I'm on top of this and I respect your time. Now, what if you get a complaint from a supplier? This response here is just brilliant. It starts with an apology, which immediately de-escalates the tension. Then it pivots straight into collaborative problem solving. It's basically saying, hey, we're a team, let's figure this out together. And what about for a customer who just wants some information? I mean, look at the energy here. Certainly, it's so positive, so eager to help. And from there, it launches into a helpful, detailed explanation. That's how a simple question turns into a really positive experience with your brand. All right, so we've covered listening and we've covered responding. Now let's wrap things up with a few next-level tips that are going to tie all of this together and make your communication skills truly exceptional. First up is empathy. This is about hearing more than just the words somebody is saying. It's about trying to understand the feeling behind them. A simple phrase like, wow, I can see why that would be so frustrating, can build an instant connection because it shows the other person that you actually get it. Next, you got to be prompt. In the world we live in today, speed communicates respect.
Even if you don't have the full answer yet, a quick reply like, "Hey, got your message and I'm looking into it," is incredibly powerful. It stops any frustration from building up and shows them you're on the case.
Of course, none of this matters one bit if the information you're giving out is wrong. Accuracy is the absolute bedrock of your credibility. Always, always take that extra moment to double check your facts before you hit reply. Your professional reputation is literally built on this. And finally, documentation. Especially for complex stuff, don't try to rely on your memory. Jotting down a few quick notes ensures you capture all the key details and action items, so when you follow up, it's totally flawless. It's such a simple habit with a massive payoff. So, we're ending right where we started, but hopefully with a whole new perspective. Every single question that comes your way is an opportunity. It's a chance to build trust, to show how competent you are, and to make a relationship stronger. So, the only question left is for you. How are you going to handle the next one?